everyone, my name is Kayla and I want to share my journey about sacred celibacy. Sacred celibacy is a pathway of honoring the sexual energy within yourself. When you honor the sexual energy within you, you are honoring the divine within yourself. And when you honor the divine within yourself, you are able to honor and have reverence for the divinity living within all things. Pathway to sacred celibacy started when I had a very intense spiritual awakening and connection to someone during a Molly journey with them, and I realized how sensitive sexual energy is and how much life force can be awoken through when we can tune into the subtleties of sensation within the body. And this kind of sacred celibacy isn't driven by a repression of sexual energy or fear or avoidance of intimacy. Oftentimes in modern society, we are looking towards others, even subconsciously, to fulfill some sort of internal discomfort, and through this, we look for partners to fulfill that desire for union with God, the goddess, or with the womb, with the infinite reality of life, of the universe, of nature. Also, one of the other important things about sacred celibacy is connecting to your womb space. And in men, the womb space is called the hara. It's honoring the sensitive, energetic, and etheric exchange that we have with another human being when we are having sex with them. Because having sex with somebody else, you are exchanging energy with them. And we are not taught that when you are having sex, you are building and attaching energetic cords and patterns and subtle imprints energetically through sexual experiences, through sexual relations with another human being. And in modern culture, we are not taught that these sexual experiences often we can become attached to people we do not want to be attached to, or people who can cause us harm, or people who are siphoning our energy. There's pressure as well on women that sex needs to happen, and men as well, that if you don't have sex with someone, you aren't proving to them that you love them and that you want to be with them. It is like there is a pressure that sex is the most important aspect of a relationship. And there's also an important aspect of men and women that society does not take account for, is that men and women do have sex differently. When a man has an orgasm, he is releasing the chemical hormone dopamine, which is simply having an enjoyable experience. And when a woman orgasms, it releases oxytocin, and this is the same hormone that is released when she is giving birth, when she is falling in love. Oxytocin is the love chemical. It is profoundly bonding. And if you are a sensitive person, whatever that means, or if you are just a normal human being that is in tune with themselves, in touch with themselves, that isn't numbing themselves, that isn't suppressing their divinity, that isn't suppressing their nature, their expression, their creativity, perhaps you may pick up on these attachments unknowingly. And a lot of women get sick. We become extremely dysregulated through our nervous system. We aren't securely attached to a man, and our nature is to be securely attached to our protector and our provider. Not that men need to be that for us, but like instinctually and subconsciously, that is what, having a female biology is. When you are intimately engaging with a man, there is a sort of energetic union that occurs, whether it is distorted or not. Having a sexual experience can be profoundly life-changing when we are tapped into the more tantric practice of sex, to go deep into the sensations living within the body and go and being able to expand them and explore them through sex magics. Life should feel pleasurable. Life should be enjoyable in all aspects, not just sex. And when we are able to ground and channel our sexual energy, we are able to create life. And what did we come here to Earth to experience? To have a sensate experience and to create life. And how do we create life? Through sexual energy. It is nothing more clear than that. Everything on this planet, everything within this reality and in this dimension here on Earth has a sexual exchange, a sexual charge to it, because you cannot have the egg without the fertilization of the egg in any facet of life. Okay, maybe there is some life forms that don't need a egg and a fertilizer, but tell me if I'm wrong. But like for the basic, basic surface level beginner understanding, you have the seed and you have the soil, you have the water and you have the sun, you have the egg within the ovaries, and you have the sperm fertilizing the egg to create life. You cannot have one without the other. You cannot have lightness without darkness. You cannot have shadow without illumination. This is the nature of reality. This is the nature of living in duality. This is the nature of living in a 3D dimension where things are separate from one another, and we get to interact with this separateness in however way we want to, and we can create and interact with this energies however way we want to. And when we are able to channel and ground our sexual energies, we have more power and sovereignty of who we are, and we are able to stand in empowered, integrated, sovereign spaces because we know who we are through our own connection to our own creative energy living within us. A culture where women are objectified, where men are suicidal, where there's so much disconnection between the sexes, there is so much pain and distortion around what men are, what women are. We've forgotten that love and union and community is the most important thing about being a human being. And when we take sovereign choice and power of our sexual energy, we are able to reclaim that power back from society. We are no longer externalizing that and blaming the bigger, blaming the man, blaming the woman, pointing the finger, because it's not about pointing the finger. It's about claiming who you are and taking responsibility and accountability for yourself. Because everything is you. Everything is you. Nothing is not you. You are everything. This is true. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, I don't know how to explain that to you. I don't know. I'll try though. I'm going to try. When I had this experience on Molly, it really opened up to my spiritual depths, and it really illuminated a energetic cord that I created with this man that I didn't want to be attached to, and I had to do so much cord clearing and ritual to clear his energy from my field, from my womb space, because I literally was like banning trickster spirits from my energy. There was like this spirit coming around, like changing their face and morphing into his face. It was so wild. I sound crazy, but it happened, and I banished that shit away from me. And I may perhaps have a very discerning perspective around who I will allow to have sex, who I will have sex with, because I do believe sex is extremely sacred, and there's so much ritual and magic there that I want to have sex with someone who can meet me in that level of depth and understanding. And I don't even want to explain it to someone, or because like if you explain that to a man, they're gonna be like, wow, look at this freaky girl. No, it's not about the freak. It's not about the freak. It's about union and love and connection and becoming one and creating a life together. That's what happens when you have sex. You can either create a real life like a baby, or you could create other forms of life. Any way that you can, because energy can be transformed into many different things when you learn how to alchemize it within yourself. And when you do that with another person, whoa, I've never done that with another person, but that is the shit that I'm on. That's the energy that I'm on. So I'm excited to explore that Sunday. If I can't explore that with anybody else, then it will just be me and God, babe. Honestly, the more that I abstain from sex, I've been celibate for about 8 months now, the more feral and free, untamed, wild woman energy I feel within me flooding through my veins. I have so much vitality. I don't feel like my energy is being pulled. I don't have to deal with, the physical ramifications for having, intercourse with the wrong person, like getting your pH thrown off, the boric acid, the la la la. I simply do not have the energy to go and do all of the grooming for somebody who doesn't, honor me, respect me, love me, have that, grounded approach to union and to partnership. So why would I be out here having casual sex to have my pH thrown up for a whole week, feeling all sorts of uncomfortable? No, thank you. If you have a desire to deepen your creative practice, your spiritual practices, sacred celibacy is a path I highly recommend. Sexual energy is something to transmute rather than simply release and just give all away. And I think sacred celibacy can be really, really powerful for us lover girls, lover boys, for people who tend to be givers, for people who tend to feel like when another person comes into their world and they are exchanging these really deep, sacred, magical energies and experiences with, you perhaps may tend to give all of yourself away, that their world becomes your world, and you lose the boundaries and the lines between who you are and who they are. If you find yourself in those kind of experiences, or you find yourself around energy vampires, narcissists, people trying to take your light, people trying to siphon your energy because they see how healing you are, you have to learn how to bring and retain that energy and heal yourself. You cannot build your life that you want. You cannot create the things that you want if you are busy throwing out your energy to everyone else. Know your value. Your sexual energy is value. Your womb, your yoni is valuable. Your yoni is the most sacred thing of life. There is nothing more important than the yoni. Men have built the Taj Mahal, wars, what have you, over the yoni, babe. Men have done everything for the yoni, okay? So remember this. They want to return to the same place that they come out of. And men out there, if you are watching this, be in your cock and your balls, babe. Like, be in your punctured energy that is powerful, and women want that. If you want to align yourself with an empowered woman, if you want to be able to handle that Shakti Kali energy, if you want to walk alongside your oracle, your guide in this life, then you gotta be in your cock and balls, babe. I used to pour all of my energy into other people, being the teacher, the therapist, the guru friend, and let me say, I will no longer be doing that. And with sacred celibacy, I have been able to draw clear boundaries with the people around me and what's mine and what's theirs. Hey, this is all I'm gonna say about this. Maybe I'll talk about it more. Peace and love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Have a wonderful day. Please take all the positive energy you can from this video. The internet is a scary, dark place sometimes, and may we all find the corners of the internet that bring us joy, happiness, awareness, and understanding and healing. Love you. Bye.